Welcome to Talking Heads on USA Global TV, starring the one and only wonderful Dr. Jacalyn. It's a prestigious place where world-class influencers and experts meet, and where you'll find the most trusted advisors and coaches for all things in life and business. Visit usaglobaltv.com to sign up for our newsletter, get the value you need, and be first in line to learn about events and giveaways and other valuable content. Connect with us. Email Dr. Jacalyn at usaglobaltv.com to talk about how you can become part of USA Global TV. That's USA Global TV, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to USA Global TV. And hello to our friends listening on Business Talk Radio. I am Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, and our show today is presenting Pet Psychic Aminah. It's always a thrill and delight as our relationship and partnership here continues on each week, bringing wonderful education, tips, and some entertainment for your watching pleasure. Let's bring out Pet Psychic Aminah right now. Hello.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to our Friday.
Yay. But we had some fun on, what day was it? Saturday.
Gosh, Monday, Tuesday. I don't know. It was great. You know, it's so wonderful. And you and I've done this. We actually did it last week, I think, where we went way past our time. And, you know, that because the conversation is so good. And everybody is really enjoying themselves. And that was what our group one was. I mean, look at the team you put together. Everybody is so different professionally and so in sync personally, as far as our goals are to share what we can do for others and do it freely. And this is the platform to do that. So thank you, thank you, thank you. What a neat group of people. Quite a few of us have now linked up on LinkedIn and social media because we just really love the message that the others had.
Yeah, well, thank you. For those who were wondering, it was New Year's Day, whatever day that was, seems so long ago. We had
this year.
This year, USA Global TV reunion show. And Aminah, she jumped in like a trooper to co-host with me, and she was there all day, which was incredible. So you went to 6 hours plus. So thank you so much. It was a great
I don't know about you, but I got the cushion on the chair and it's ergonomic.
I'm standing.
I always go. And I've got one on my feet, so I get all that, you know, and I can move.
Yeah,
if we could just get the lights to agree, because, you know, the day I have these beautiful windows next to me, and as everybody knows, when you go live, it's like I either have a ton of sun or nothing, or
so true. Yes. And I'm in a pitch black room with a green screen. So
well, you know what? You obviously can do better with deciding which light goes on and that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, this is actually a studio setup. So everything remains the same. I never change anything, it's great. So, and for folks who don't know, this Monday, we have our USA Global TV launch party. Yay. And it's from 2 to 4:30 p.m. Eastern time. So you can translate that whatever time zone you're in. We actually have 12 co-hosts from 5 different time zones. And we've got 4 announced guests and 2 special guests whose names have not been announced yet. So
that's great. Yay. How many countries have you got covered so far?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So many countries. I can't even, it's just been such a great journey, and you've been here with me through it. So it's, I don't know. We just keep growing and building and they will come. So they say.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and good content, you know, that's what's going to carry the day is good content. And we try to answer the questions we think people have. Be there. All of us are trained at something really unique. The coaches that you have, each one has that niche that is really special to that person that needs it, and that kind of stuff. So, and I just you know, be nice, be the animals. Stop killing the spiders. Coexisting. Well, that was the word I'm looking for.
You know what? And you've got a great guest, a return guest who's here backstage. So before we bring her out, I just wanted to mention something that happened yesterday. And I just mentioned it on the show before, but it's so relevant because it ties into you so much. I was doing a photo shoot yesterday for this. Our websites are being launched on Monday, USA Global TV and drjacalyn.com. So I had to get some new shots. So we were over in the pool area. and heard some noise. It's a gated area for the community, and heard some noise by the gate, and you have to have a key to get in to the gate. Heard some noise and rustling. So looked over, and lo and behold, it was a giant iguana. So the iguana is the one I told you about that's been on the roof and actually came strolling in and had these gold things like all down the back of his thing. And then underneath here, some kind of red thing. And then on his tail, he was like sort of orange, but the tail had black. So we were standing there, and I think it was a he. He was standing there, and I remembered what you said about coexisting and about controlling your breathing. So I just looked and said hello.
I would have died to be there.
I wish I could have filmed it, but I didn't have my phone with me. And ended the story. Just stood there, and then he walked towards the door to the office for the condo association. So I thought, maybe he's a new tenant. I don't know. Maybe he's disgruntled with the condo fee. I'm not sure. So we walked around, and there he was, just looking at himself in the glass door, just turning his head this way.
Gosh, she's very pretty. I wonder who she is. Because mirrors
are about you,
mirrors are quite a thing. But that's what people don't need to do, is freak out, and that's the hard, easy lesson. People, it can't be that easy. Yeah, it can. It really can. It can be that easy of just saying, I'm here, they're there. If I don't freak out, they're like, oh my God, why am I in danger? That person thinks I'm in danger, because your energy changes, and it's about deep breathing. That's where all that meditation that we're going to talk about that Corky can help us with, and all of these types of things of just saying, it's not about me. It isn't really. Self-centered human beings. It's not about you. And they are harmless when everybody goes, oh, bye Bob, bye Harriet, whatever.
Yeah, well, you know what? I don't know if you or Reverend Corky has this answer. We'll pose it, but I went back and started to do some additional research, because I feel like anything in life can be considered a distraction, whether it's an iguana, whatever it is. And when you're operating from a position of fear, which is what I've had my whole life about a lot of different animals, then that's a position where you're powerless. And
you just gave it up. People don't realize what you say is so powerful, because you literally handed it to them on a silver spoon, as the slang goes. You said, okay, I'm not confident in me, and I don't have any rights to tell myself what to do and how to feel or anything. I'm going to let you dictate it. That's how toxic people work.
Yes.
I try to stay away from them. But abusers, they take your self away. They take your ability to say, no, I don't want to do that. I refuse to be whatever that is, in that way. People give it up to alcohol. People give it up to drugs. It doesn't have to be it can be an inanimate object. It's your perception that changes that conversation in your head.
So true. That's right. In your head.
In your head.
And then here's the last part of it. So when I did the research, I already knew that they can grow to be 6.6 feet long. They can run 11 miles an hour.
Like you added the 0.6.
But two other things. Yeah, the 0.6. Two other things. And again, we're going to talk about meditation and overcoming fear. They can swim. Swimming pool. They can swim for an hour underwater, and they like chlorine, folks. They like to swim in the pool, and they like to live in trees above pools, so they can drop down. They can drop 40 feet without any problem. Yeah. So
no wings.
I'm going to need Reverend Corky to help me stay calm when I go.
Exactly. That's why we have the right person for these crazy conversations. It's like, how do you deep breathe through that?
Let's bring her out. You want to give her an intro?
Corky Whitaker. What an amazing woman. I was lucky enough to meet her when I moved back to the north of California. And she is the wonderful partner of Dottie Boone, and where I went for mentorship was here. And I actually have one-on-one experience. I'm friends with one of her clients, and I watched a tremendous transformation. They were really afraid of blood and cuts and this and that, and she had to get treatment. And Corky really walked her through that and got her through that in such a simple way, that you think, oh, well, it's like putting like a bandage on. Well, that doesn't hurt. You just put a bandage on. No, Corky is the bandage that heals the wound underneath.
Wow.
I just came up with
Whoa.
that. I'm hitting on all. Also,
Hey,
Corky, you can steal it.
let's bring her out.
Hi there. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, that was you are wonderful. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And to follow up on what you were saying, that humans are so powerful and they just give it up all the time.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I harp on with my clients is that you are powerful. You're the one. You're the one that's in control of you. And if you give it away to somebody else, then you get what you get. Right. But if you want something specific, you're the one that gets to do it.
Right.
And so Jacalyn, that's what we're going to do with you, is that you're empowered. You have totally you can decide if you're going to be frightened or if you're going to be in control. And you did such a good job. What was it, yesterday when you decided that to take Aminah's advice and just breathe and be kind, be gentle, just be in love, with yourself enough to share that with everything that's around you.
Thank you for that, Reverend Corky. Now let's go just a step further. Let's say I'm in the pool doing my breaststrokes, and all of a sudden, splash, and my new friend jumps into the pool. What do I do?
Well, you know what? I'd lean on the side and say, when you're done, I'm going to go that way, because it is a little terrifying, and they are very powerful animal wise. So I'm going to say, go calm. Just what Corky's going to say. Everybody, the hardest thing I think, Corky, and I really want you to chime in on this, is when you're learning to take your core and just go, what can I do about this? Oh, I could freak out. I could scream. I could splash the water. How about you just go up to the side of the pool where you have that protection on your back, and you watch and you look and you get out of the way, because, they're going to climb wherever they're going to. But you might find it's so fascinating to just stand there and say, I'm okay. I'm okay. Because they're not going to hang out in the chlorine pool that long. And if they do, go to the ladder and get out.
Yeah, because they don't realize how powerful they are and how fragile you are.
Right.
And that it's and they may accidentally hurt you. Only because, if they while they're swimming, if their claw happens to hit you or something, not that they mean for it to happen, but it could accidentally happen. So
and Corky, actually the tail is actually their weapon of choice. The claws are good for trees and climbing and that kind of stuff. They're not going to go necessarily with the claw first. They're going to do, their mouth is pretty powerful as far as the torque, but the tail is really where they're whipping. Where you're going to get an alligator the same way. That tail is a weapon of choice, because it's like having a whip. My brother, when he was a teenager, God forbid, somebody bought him one of those, and all of us girls in the family were not real happy about that, because it was out. But it's the same idea. It gives them balance in when they move and they swim and they climb trees and all of that kind of stuff. But it also is a tool. It's a tool, because that's why it gets smaller and smaller. So if you are off to the distance and you've got your back to a secure place, a tree, a wall, a side of the pool, whatever, you might find that the challenge, and Corky, I love your input on this, because I'm imagining that you're trying out your new meditation fortitude, and you back off, stay in a safe place where your back is up against something where you feel safe, and then just observe. Is this as scary as you think it is? Mm-hmm. Because sometimes we freak out and don't take a minute to say, that was a marshmallow, not a snake. Because we've all mistaken a bag, floating down the river going, oh my God, I saw an alligator. And somebody down the creek says, no, it's a bag. It had a branch in it. Calm down.
I can remember one windy night when we were in a parking lot and we saw this thing floated by in front of the lights of the car. And it's like, oh, that's a leaf. No, it's a mouse. No, it's a leaf. No. And then it got up and ran away. So because it was like a little, the mouse was going like a.
They do have a bug that looks like a leaf, but it's more like a butterfly. So It wouldn't be mistaken as that.
Yeah.
But you bring up a good Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. The thing is that you don't want to frighten the iguana, because then that might
It
create.
unbalances the experience, because now you are setting yourself up to just what you said, Corky, is so important. Let's say you've got an aggressive human, or you don't know this scary guy that is frowning and all that kind of stuff. I've seen people that literally that's the way they look every day. Happy, smash, round and glad. And I'm thinking, does he ever look better? It was like, nope, that's just the way he looks. But I had to meet the person like 4 times to see. It was kind of like a built-in scrub. And they said, I always get asked if I'm sick or if I feel better because of the way their face looks. So the hardest thing to teach, I think, right now in the world, and maybe for a whole lifetime, don't judge. It just might be the way their face is put together, or God forbid they had an accident and there's burns, because that really changes the structure of a person's face. Horrible acne, that I remember the pot marks and the high school kids and stuff like that. You don't know. So guess what? Don't assume everybody's terrible.
There was a spiritual practice that I did for a year, and it was when you make eye contact with anything, you say bless you, just mentally, and whether it's a person or an animal or whatever it is, just bless everything, and until, and it takes about a year to believe it, to really feel it, to get it internally, where your body realizes that you're blessing everything that's in front of you. And it really works. It really calms you down. And see, this is you doing it. And so that's your internal spiritual self is actually creating this blessing for everything that's around you. And so that's, it's like when I talk about, the way that you create wonderful things in your life is you have to seed your path, so that as you walk through it, there's flowers instead of trash. And so I say, so you're on your path forward, and you're taking, you can hold anything in your hand. You can, the trash, or you can hold the seeds, and you throw it around as you're walking, and that way you'll be walking through the garden, walking through something that's pleasant, rather than the trash that you've created. The disruption, the volcanoes, so remember that you are the one that's seeding your future. You're the one that's setting it up. What is it you want to walk through? What is it you want to be? What's the vibration you want to be present with? Right. Make it happen for yourself. Right. You make it happen for yourself.
What a great way to go through life. I love that.
We got to have a board sign. No, really, what you said was really powerful. It was really, really powerful. And I don't understand people who drop their gum wrappers or leave their soda cup on the ground, or God forbid straws, the bane of our existence in the wild, in a place. And my daughter goes crazy when we go for a walk, because I pick a lot of that up. And she's like, that's gross. Now with pandemic, I had to wear gloves and stuff like that, and wash my hands and don't touch anything. But the point is, we coexist. Again, my big mantra with everything. The world, if you want clean air, make it. If you want a clean home or a better job or whatever, make it. I don't know, either of you have seen this guy online. I don't remember. I think I've seen him on Facebook and lots of places. But he leans out of his car window. So he's the driver, and a lot of time he's leaning towards his passenger, and he's got the window down, and he accosts everybody. And I mean in the best way. And he says, like Corky, if I was talking to you, he'd say, hey, did you invent, that great hairstyle or something? Or he says something that could be interpreted racist to somebody of a different descent. Or he says something that you go, wait a minute, what? And then he says, because you're the most gorgeous person I've ever seen. And everybody dies laughing. But he comes up with these really clever things for, like, he accosts these African-American gentlemen, and again, they're in their car, they're side by side, the windows are open, and he says something like that could be innuendo, like, hey, where do you live? Like a police type of thing with this white guy. And then he goes, because you know what? I saw your mansion and it's so cool. It's always like the supreme compliment that everybody literally falls on the floor laughing, because I mean, can you imagine where you think it's gonna go, because it's
Right.
implied, because everybody's like makes nasty, and he's a white guy. So, and then he picks out everybody, absolutely everybody, and it's a roar, absolutely roar. Just to see him moving people, just what we're talking about, it comes across as, wait a minute, why are you asking me this personal question, yelling across my car? Like, do you live in this neighborhood? He'll ask that kind of stuff. And how many times do people of color get asked, what are you doing in my neighborhood? And I mean, there's a million videos online about people being accosted about being in the wrong neighborhood. And he says, because man, you must own that mansion in the back. You're so cool. And he turns it completely around to a compliment.
No, I haven't seen that. No.
I haven't
and that's
either.
what we're talking about, a perception. You think this man's going to be rude.
Yeah. We've got a comment from Hyatt Ives. Hi, Hyatt. It does take time to change an ingrained belief.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yes,
But
it does.
keep
Give
at
yourself
it,
that
little by
time.
little. Yep.
Give yourself that permission. You know, it's even when, so what, while you're going through this, there are times when you mess up, when you get upset or whatever, and as soon as you notice it, change it to the way you want it to be. I want to be kind to people. I want to be gentle with people. I want to be approachable. I want to be these things. This is what I see myself. See yourself in that image. See yourself treating people the way you want to treat them. And, you know, and with every thought, with every bit of your being, continuously do it.
Right.
Yeah. You know, I just want to mention that that's kind of what I did yesterday. I changed my behavior because in the past, before I met Aminah, I seriously would have been screaming and yelling and freaking out. And
you would have been
thinking that
creating
maybe
a situation.
yeah, be creating a situation. And instead I thought, live and let live. He or she has a right to be there, and so do I. And so he or she can do whatever they're doing, try to get into the office, maybe to complain
Look
about
at
the
itself
condo
and
fees.
and look at you. That's so great. Congratulations.
Well, and there's guidelines. You know, if the spider is right here above me on the toilet or the shower, I'm like, Bob, left, right, choose, not center. And then if they don't get the message, you scoop them up, and that's what those little Christmas cups are for. You know, as I told you, a little piece of paper. You go and you carry them out and say, "Have fun. Go eat some."
Daddy does that.
Not over my head. I just have guidelines.
I holler, and then she comes and gets it.
Reverend Corky, I would love to spotlight you and just have you share with our audience. You do so many wonderful things. I'd like you to just tell people a little bit more about your background.
Okay, so I've been a hypnotherapist since the 1980s, and when I learned hypnosis, it was amazing. I thought, this is great. Anything you want to do, you can. Anything you don't want to do, you can stop. And hypnosis is, God, why don't people use it? It can help in anything, everything. And then when I started working with clients, it was like, oh, you don't want help. You just want to tell somebody your story. Oh, I get it. So how do you help people when that's their story and they don't want to, I don't know. They think they want to help, but they won't do what it takes, to be empowered. So it's I'm still kind of working on that one because it's something. You have to find something new for every person. Takes their own personal ride on that one. So what happens is I do depossession. For earthbound entities, that's one of the things I'm kind of that I've been specializing in since 1990s. I met Edith Fiore when she wrote her book, The Unquiet Dead, and it was like, oh, I want to do that. And so I delved into it and created my own process for it. EBERT, Earthbound Entity Releasement Technique. I've trained people all over the world on how to do it. I have a manual, and never go, oh, you should write the book because all your stories are so great. And it's like, yeah. But there's books that are written. I mean, I've read a couple of books where it's like, that would have been my book, because the stories are so fascinating when people have situations when they feel like they don't have control of themselves. And, well, I can't help when I get angry. It just comes over me and I have no control over it. And it's kind of like, well, if you don't have control, who does? Who's in there controlling you? Well, I don't know, but so then that would be like a little red flag. They say, well, let's see if we can find out who's in there doing that. And so, then that's when we start working together, and 99% of the time there is something in there. Now, if you don't believe in the earthbound entities, that the souls and that reincarnation, that kind of thing, that's fine. But there's something that's preventing you from being empowered for you changing your life to be better for yourself. People that get angry at just the drop of a hat or yelp, hip, that are just can't seem to control themselves. Yes, there is an organic thing to that. There is conditions that you can go to a psychologist or a therapist to get medicines for that and that sort of thing. Yes. And also, you can try hypnosis and see where it is. Is it something that's, like you have a head injury or something that changed your thinking process? And hypnosis can help that, but sometimes you need to go to a medical doctor to have things worked on. But hypnosis won't hurt you. And so my feeling is, well, try it, and if it doesn't help, at least it didn't hurt you. So, just give it a try and see if you can work on it yourself. And if not, then go and seek help. Anyway,
Reverend Corky?
Yes.
Quick question. For people who are not sure, and you and I have talked about this before with Aminah, what is hypnosis? People have fear of hypnosis. Like, oh, I saw it on television. It's scary. I don't know what it is. Can you describe it?
Yeah, thank you, Hollywood. Yeah. Once again, making things weird. That
you're going to make me eat dirt. You're going to make me, walk naked through the mall. Or that's not how it works.
No, you won't do anything that you wouldn't normally do. Under hypnosis, it isn't quite like that. If you have a propensity to doing that, for doing that kind of thing, you might, but I took a class in stage hypnosis and it was interesting. These were professional hypnotherapists, and the guy would say, well, the person who's sitting there in that chair, you are their seatbelt. You need to protect them. And they fly and land on their lap and hang on so the person couldn't stand up. It's they're the seatbelt and they're protecting them from the crash. It's like, that is amazing. That is amazing. and it's not, they're not kidding. So, but that person, you figure that healers are helpers. And so if they can help that person from being in a crash, they would do it. So that's something that they might do, but it's interesting to the mind. Oh, God, the mind is just fascinating. Okay, so with hypnosis, I don't do stage hypnosis because I don't like fooling people. I don't like, it's like you've lost the number 9 and count how many fingers do you have? Why do I have 11 fingers? Yeah, so it's just, I don't like doing that because I feel like it's it's fun, but it's also, it's not fair. It's just, you're there to help, not to harm. Yeah. And entertainment is, iffy stuff. Anyway, so I would, so my stuff is if you want to change a behavior, if you want to start doing something, or if you want to stop doing something, hypnosis is perfect. And you are in charge the whole time. It isn't that you lose your mind. You may go to sleep, but you are there. You hear what I'm saying. And I'm talking to you, and you're talking back to me. And so it's you never really lose track of what you're doing, and you remember. We talk about it afterwards, and you remember, and you can tape it so that you can hear everything that's said. And you are the one that's in charge. That's the good news and the bad news, because when you're totally in charge, if you decide you don't want to be part of the therapy, then you just don't do it. But if you want help, this really does help people. There was like with the earthbound entity stuff, there was a gal that came to me, and she was afraid, very, very afraid of living in an apartment that was like she would live on the very top apartment in the corner. And we did some past life stuff, and it turned out that she had been robbed and killed and all this stuff by people breaking into her apartment. And so once we were able to find out that had happened, and to nullify or to come to terms with that had happened, in another life, that you don't have to continue to relive this life, that you're taking precautions so that won't happen anymore. You have special doors and special stuff so that nobody will ever be able to break in, and you don't have to have that fear every time you go home and when you're trying to sleep. She couldn't sleep, at night. And so this is perfect for something like that, where you say, okay, now, yes, that happened, and it's not going to happen again because you've taken the precautions, and just letting her be mellow with that. And she came back to me like 10 years later, and I said, so what's going on? She said, oh, I have a whole other thing that really helped, that worked, but I've got this other thing now. So it was, I mean, what is your fear? What is your what's stopping you from being successful? What's stopping you from being a caring, loving person? What's stopping you from being whatever it is that you want to be, or that you want to do? And whatever that is, let's talk about it and figure out what it is.
Thank you so much for that. Now, a question I have, and again, I'm basing it on television. So somebody calls you or meets you on Zoom, or you get together in person, and you take out some kind of thing that I'm going to watch. You're getting
I've had people ask me that, and I can, but no. Basically, I do progressive regression, where it's just, okay, just close your eyes, take a nice deep breath, imagine yourself being in the most comfortable place you've ever been, and relax your muscles. Just feel yourself beginning to float down into this wonderful, soft, comfortable bed of roses. Whatever, we talk about it before to find out what, if the person likes the beach or doesn't, or whatever, and release the muscles, and so I just bore them to death and go into a trance.
Until you're comatose, right?
Yeah. So, and then we walk down steps, just to feel yourself becoming more and more relaxed, as 10, 9, more relaxed. And then to get on a cloud, this big fluff. Well, the way I see it, it's a big fluffy cloud. I've only had one person say, this cloud isn't going to hold me. So we'll make it a big cloud. This is your cloud. Make it however you want. Okay. So then you sink down, and it's so very comfortable, and it's just the right temperature and just the right softness and hardness, and then it wraps its little cloud arms around you, and all you feel is love, relaxation. Just let yourself begin to rise up, higher, and as you drift and float, gently drifting and float. So I imagine that came from being on a raft, like a blow up mattress in the ocean, drifting and floating, just drifting, floating, relaxing, relax. And then I start, whatever it is, if we're going to do a past life or depossession or whatever, and then just start from there.
That was very relaxing. I was almost like starting to fall asleep until I saw the iguana next to me on the raft.
But you already conquered that one.
I know, just kidding.
No, we're gonna now just imagine that iguana, being friendly with you. Now, what if he comes up and he looks at you and starts looking at you like he was looking at himself? Like,
the only thing I would say is, hey, if your talons or claws rip this raft, can I get on your back and travel? Can you take me to the land?
Just think what a bodyguard that would be.
And remember that animals see, they're through imagery, and so the image that you are, you have a good chance of sending that imagery to that iguana.
Wow, how about that?
Now, the primitive brain, that's when you're talking to yourself, you're talking images. Like they say, well, I don't want to date somebody who smokes. So then your mind has to create somebody smoking in order to say, put the big red. Mm-hmm. So every time you say, I don't want this, then you're reinforcing it in the sense that your mind has to recreate it, or create it or recreate it. And so if you can just say, I am now smoke free. I am now, I will live a life of of no alcohol, and and then your mind will create, oh, okay, so we're fine,
Right.
There's no smoke there, there's no alcohol there, there's no whatever. That one of the reasons that I started learning hypnosis in the first place was to stop drinking. So
now, can you do hypnosis on yourself, or is that you can?
You can. Oh yeah, you can. Self hypnosis is an excellent tool, and you give yourself and it's a lot like the meditation or like prayer. The difference between meditation and hypnosis is that in meditation you're emptying your mind, and in hypnosis you're putting you have something that you're working on that you put into your mind. So it's good to empty it, and then I do a kind of a hypnosis meditation thing where you kind of want to empty it and then bring in what it is you want to work on.
I really like that, emptying and then filling with something that's more healthy, or just it's a different direction or perspective.
Yeah, and like with somebody that wants to diet, then I see them. I ask them to see a banquet table filled with all the things that they enjoy, that's good for them. That it's the lean meats, the vegetables, the fruits, all the things that are tasty and good for them, and that as they taste it, they can. As they eat it, they can taste that wonderful sweet carrot, or that wonderful, if it's beef or chicken or whatever it is, that's nourishing and nurturing their body, and just feel it nurturing your body with each time you chew and swallow, and you're going to chew up that food really, really well, and just see yourself. I have them see themselves. See yourself the way you want to be. See yourself, like if you want to lose 20 pounds, what are you going to look like when you lose 20 pounds? Imagine yourself standing in front of a full-length mirror. See yourself in that image. See yourself going out. Hear your friends say, wow, you look great. You want to get a new car. See yourself sitting in the new car, waving at your friends, putting gas in it, rolling down the window. Smell the newness of the car. Just feel yourself, and how proud you are to be able to have this new car. And as you pass everybody, and everybody's saying, hey, great car, that's wonderful, I love that color, whatever. And so it's a lot of imagery, because you're going to be thinking about something. You're going to be talking to yourself about something. You might as well put things in there that you want.
Absolutely. And like meditation is a practice that you do on a regular basis if you are a practitioner. Is hypnosis the same? It sounds like it's also positive affirmations and imagery.
Yeah, it is. For me, it is. It's very, they're, probably people that do have meditation as a regular practice. And because, emptying your mind is really a lifetime practice. And I talk to myself. And so I have to remember to, give myself positive images to, that I'm healthy, that I'm, that just all kinds, that you feel in control, and that you feel organized, and you feel, instead of like, oh, damn, instead of doing that, it's just like, well, I could be less cluttery, but then, well, okay, I will be less cluttery. Okay. No excuses with that.
Then I can't find anything.
I know.
And there are people like that find everything in the clutter. So
yeah, I know right where it is, because every day I see it just sitting right there. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, and I like the meditation, Corky, that you talked about, that, you alluded. I really want people to hear that. For me, sitting and meditating is boring. And that's how I've always looked at it, is like, oh, okay, I don't want to. But guess what? My meditation is the pine trees, is going for a walk, is nature. And that's what you're talking about, is to find your Zen. Find, if it's the mall, believe it or not, there are a lot of people out there that can walk through a mall and go, oh, I'm home. And this, and they don't buy. They don't shop. It's about being with everybody and going by the food court and smelling the smells, or whatever your joy is. If it's me and the trees and me going down, and right now we've had tons of rain. I mean, Jacalyn, our hills are so exceptional this time of year. They're just breathtaking, absolutely breathtaking. And I'll bring pictures and we'll put them up and all that kind of stuff, because we're so lucky to live. You know, I live technically in a valley, but we have San Francisco and hills everywhere. So this time we're really benefiting from all that wonderful rain. And for me, it's going out and taking my cell phone, taking pictures of things I see that my heart sees. Lately, I've been addicted to clouds. We've got the most beautiful fluffy clouds. and it's guess what? Without having to pay for film, I can take as many pictures as I got charged for. And then just go home and charge them again.
Yeah.
And that's what Corky is talking about. She's talking about you find your bliss wherever it is. There used to be like garage sales, like every weekend. It was what everybody did. And my mom loved those things. And I loved going. I never got anything as a kid, but little pink elephant ones. But if that's your bliss, then great. It's just, it doesn't have to be complicated. You don't have to be. What I found out working with Corky was I didn't have to sit in a dark room and quiet my mind. And I'm thinking, okay, how do you do that when Jacalyn, like you, okay, I got to get this done. I got to get this done. Well, I had to find music.
Yeah, and a lot of very famous monks and what have you talk about the walking meditation.
Right, there you go.
That's a perfect thing.
Yes, it is.
Practice, and it is soothing and it is relaxing. You know, whatever you find that's relaxing. I like to drive. Driving for me is relaxing, and there's a lot of things that calm me, that I have learned to calm down, and it's just kind of breathing and taking in, you know, like being when we're at church. I love being around, you know, my friends and you know, the whole, everybody's there. They're there to have a nice time and to take in, you know, the activities that we have, and I love doing that. I would miss it if I didn't have it.
Yeah,
I'd have to make something up.
She writes the bulletin. She writes the newsletter. She writes everything. She could make up anything you want.
That's right.
Come to this meeting. What is the meeting? Who cares? Just come.
Just be here.
I need a speaker.
I just wanted to share when you were talking about walking, Aminah. And again, this is a tribute to you and the influence that you've had on me. I like to walk if I can every day, but I can't always fit it in. So I went for a walk yesterday, and it's the same circle that I've been walking for 40 years, right? And I used to be terrified about the various things that I would see along the way. And yesterday, this is so cool. I looked up in the air and I saw these, I believe there were vultures. And I thought there must be something dead, and there are cleaners. They're going to take care of cleaning. And one came down, and there was a fence around the school, and it stopped right on the fence. And I was like 3 feet away from it. So I took a deep breath, and I just stood there, and I looked at how beautiful it was. And I said hello, and I said, hi. If you stay there, I'll walk over to this side. And I swear it looked at me and it flew up into the tree. And then a little bit further, it sounds ridiculous, there was this, I think it's an egret, white with very long legs. And it was, I could have put my hand out, and I just stopped and looked at how beautiful it was. And I said hello. And then as I turned the corner coming back home, I saw something I've never seen. I tried to find pictures of it, but it had like 2 legs, like a seal. It looked like a seal just from where the legs were, and it had a head, and it kind of like flopped along. And I watched it go this long distance, and I thought, wow, that's got to be a lot of work with that body style. And anyway, I'm so much more appreciative, and these things have been here, obviously, through time. But instead of living in fear, I'm actually appreciative about how beautiful they are. So thank you, Aminah.
Well, and you know what? And Corky's going to concur, I know, because guess what you just explained to not only our audience, but your heart and your skin and your hair and your genes. I mean, this is core deep. This is what we talk about all the time, is get your energy in positive, get your energy in this, get your energy in this. When you're afraid of that dog who's coming at you, stand still and go, I'm going to get this under control. And that lizard, that big iguana is not going to run me down. And then guess what? They relax and go, oh, so she's not a threat, because they want to know what you're terrified about. If you're terrified about something, they're trying to figure out what to be scared about, because their life and death is on the line.
I just see them both running in the same direction. Like, what are you running from? I don't know. Why are you running?
Why are you chasing me? He said, I'm not chasing you, but why are you never? I mean, you feed into each other. And that's what a mob does. That's where that whole thing, if you really want to go extra, that's how protests get out of hand. You get somebody who's just in there to incite, and you get all that going. So look what you've done with your own self, Jacalyn, is you explained to two people that completely understand that you changed your energy for good, and you changed your energy for positive. You'll have less gray hair. Someday you'll get gray hair. You'll have less wrinkles if you ever get those. But you know what I mean? Your whole health will go better because you gave love to something you didn't quite understand and didn't need to. You just said, you know what? I honor you over there.
Yeah, you empowered yourself to be in.
You should. It's huge. Where we started a year ago, this is huge. Thank you. I feel so blessed.
Congratulations.
One person at a time, we can get to realize that everybody has a purpose. Everything, even termites. Yay, we need those trees, to go to soil. And that's what they do. I'm sorry if they eat your house, but it's wood in the United States and that type of stuff. But there is purpose in all things. And as I've told you, vultures don't kill anything. So it really, and they have that scary head so they don't get maggots on their heads while they're taking care of the dead animals and making sure they become soil and they become something for their babies. Everything has a purpose, and you really honored that, and you will benefit by the good energy you just shared. Thank you for showing that. I know you didn't know, but I wanted to really everybody to see this is what it looks like when you work on yourself and say, I can get past this. Because we really talked a lot about the spiders, and you now tell them where to move. And
and the two lizards who were in the house.
To the left, to the right, outside.
Well, the other thing I learned from you is that there's some group of creatures we don't really know what their purpose is. And that's okay. Like those little gnats, that fly around, that it's just
mosquitoes.
Like, okay.
Give me a break.
Yeah.
Who needs bubonic plague? I don't understand that.
Who are we to try to figure it out? Right.
Right. I mean, I had that list, since I was a teeny little kid, I was like, oh man, I can't wait to ask God that one, because, I can ask him now, but I don't really hear it well. But, being psychic, I do have a spirit guide and that kind of stuff. And I get a lot of answers. At some point, a couple of my family members thought I was 411 and was getting that call. Hey, what are we doing? No, this is not how this works. Meaning you have to live your own life. You have to move forward with making good choices. You can't go through and say, oh, well, I hit that guy today and then I ran off. Do you think maybe, and you ask a psychic some kind of question like, well, am I going to get arrested by the police or blah, blah, blah? I'm thinking, dude, you got bigger issues than that. If this is what you're worried about, getting caught because you just left somebody either injured or without a vehicle to go to work and their family depends on that one income, blah, 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 blah. So the answer is never black and white. There's just a boatload of gray. And every time you make a new decision, you change a path, even a little bit. Because you and I both know we fell off a curb and you go, wow, I didn't plan that. Why didn't you tell me that? I'm thinking, because you didn't tell me you're going for a walk on 3rd Street. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the old pebble in the water thing.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
great example.
Ripples,
Yeah.
You just have to have the faith that what you're doing is out of the kindness of your heart, that it's a well meant, regardless of how it's taken, that you meant it to be a kindness, right. And that everything it comes from your heart. And then if it turns out badly, I just don't know if it can. I mean, if people accept, they don't have to accept what you do, but you have to know that whatever you're doing is meant as a kindness or as as a heartfelt gesture, or that it's meant to be, a gesture of love. And so then you're doing what, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and what other people do with it is really none of your business.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes,
Jerry
definitely.
We can't own it. Yeah, you can't own it. That's not
Yeah.
yours. And that's, I think, a big problem that a lot of people think, even with your own children, with your own aunts, uncles, Jacalyn, with your mom. I know when I was taking care of my mom, it was like, oh, what do I do about this, this, this? And I'm thinking, oh, wait a minute. I got 2 other sisters managing this with me. And, it needs to be a discussion when she could no longer make those decisions. And
Draco,
bring in that support.
What you think of me is none of my business.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
that's so
Right.
true.
What I think of me, that's what you need to be.
Yeah, because it becomes a
Yeah.
distraction when we start worrying about what other people are thinking about us, because everyone's not going to like us, and who cares if they do? We just have.
I know my mom was like, "Well, what do the neighbors think?" It's like, I don't know. Whatever.
Do we know the neighbors? Oh yeah, that's right. In those days we did. So,
Reverend Corky, you have a special offer for USA Global TV, our audience, as well as Business Talk Radio. I want to make sure that we get to that. What is that offer?
Well, the offer is anybody who's listening to me today, and if they'd like to talk to me about what's going on with them, it's a $50 off. So that if we decide to work together, that's what it would be for any of your listeners that would like to call today.
Perfect. So just to reiterate, what will they call you for? Let's just review that.
It could be for any reason that they feel like they can't go forward, or they don't know where forward is, or if they feel like they have no control over their life, or if they feel like things just aren't working out for them or whatever. We can talk about it and see if that's something that hypnosis would help them with. And if so, then if we do hypnosis together, it'll be $50 instead of $100.
And are you able to work with people through virtual means, or do they have to be there in person?
I can do it virtually.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. I just want to make sure we got to that. So we are actually at the end of our show, which has gone by so quickly
already.
Yes, I know. It's just, we're actually over, which is fine. But so Corky, I just want to make sure that you can share your phone number, and if that's the best way for people to get in touch with you.
Right. 408-220-5779 is my cell phone number. I'm in San Jose, California. Give me a call.
All right. I like it. Just relax.
Thank you so much, Corky, for joining us.
Thank you very much for being here, Corky.
Hey, my pleasure. Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
Enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Thank you. You too. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful time.
Absolutely.
See you next week.
Yeah. The background girl.
Yeah.
With Dottie.
Yeah.
Thanks again. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Thank you. Bye-bye.
It always pains me to hit that remove button. I hate it because I hate taking anybody off the show. But we have to stick to timing. So I'm going to spotlight you, and for you to give the audience your contact information. And I know that you also have, oh no, is it still valid?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Why not?
Okay.
Till the 15th. I think we had to tell.
Okay. Go ahead. I'm typing it up.
Okay. I am a pet psychic. I'm an empath, which means I feel what you feel. And no, I don't invade anybody. I usually do it with permission and that type of stuff. If you have a strong feeling, then yeah, it's really easy for empaths to do that. But I can help you with training no matter where you are, end of life. And yes, I do talk to people and animals that have passed away. That is how my gift works. How it happened. I was born this way. So please, everything you want to know about me, everything you're curious about, any videos I've done, it is on bridgingworlds.us. That is my website. Everything is there. And for Dr. Jacalyn's show exclusively till January 15th, I also am doing a discount. Instead of $75, it is $50 for the first hour. And it's $1 a minute after that if you want to talk longer. And we can talk from anywhere. I have clients all over the world, as does Corky, because all we need is a phone call, a connection to you, and we can hear and talk to you from there. Our gifts work from anywhere. We're very, very, very blessed. So thank you so much, Dr. Jacalyn, for this wonderful platform. I've had a fabulous time. And so just for your clients, I have offered this discount of $50 for the first hour. After that, it's $1 a minute if you want to talk longer. And email me going to my website, bridgingworlds.us.
All right.
From there.
Thank you so much. I got the offer posted just in time. Okay, I'll just put it up for everyone to see. Aminah's offer is $50 for the first hour instead of $75 for a reading, bridgingworlds.us. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
All right.
Great and simple.
Fantastic. All right. Thank you, my friend. I look forward to seeing you on Monday. I will be sharing the rundown of timing. So it's very exciting, just putting some finishing touches on it.
Absolutely. I'd say let me help, but it's all digital. I'll leave you to the executive because last time when we did this, 2 weeks ago for the new year or something, it was wonderful. We all had a fabulous time. And I don't know if you know, a lot of us have networked on social media just because we really enjoyed each other.
I've seen that. I feel like a parent, a proud parent,
yes.
because
all the cousins are getting along. Yay.
I love for everybody to reach out and collaborate. It means a lot.
Yeah. And you probably have seen, Ivy, I'd invited a couple to be on my program because I just love the message and it really fits into holistic stuff I really want to talk about.
It's fantastic. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. I will see you later. Have a great weekend and I'll see you Monday.
You too.
Okay, thanks.
Get away from those iguanas.
Okay, I will. Okay.
Bye.
Well, folks, we are wrapping up our week. It's been a little bit of a quieter week because a number of our show hosts were taking holiday. We're just getting prepared for the big launch next week. And I want to just share something I don't usually share. I am a broadcaster, an entrepreneur. I am also a certified life, career, meditation, and yoga coach. So if you ever need to speak to somebody, if you're looking to change careers, I love to help people sort out where it is that they want to go. And also, if you have any type of challenges in your life that you feel lost or confused, I love working with people who have autoimmune illnesses like I have, because we really can work together to formulate an action plan and a strategy to help you take control of your life. So you can reach me at my website, which is drjacalyn.com, or Jacalyn, you can see how it's spelled, Jacalyn, at drjacalyn.com. As I mentioned before, we will be back on Monday starting at 2:00 p.m. with my co-host, Mr. Al Sini, for the launch of USA Global TV. Our websites, usaglobaltv.com and drjacalyn.com, will be launched on Monday. We have a jam-packed 2.5 hours that is literally broken out minute by minute so that everybody can get their time. We will have all of our co-hosts, whether they're there in person or they've sent in a video because of the time difference. And we have 4 incredible guests, including Laser Girl, who is our musical talent. We also have Paul Connolly, who is an author and producer. He's got a movie coming out called Big Boys Don't Cry. We have our travel expert for USA Global TV, and that is Sandy Adams. And we also have a new clip from Angela Lau, who is in Macau. And we have 2 special guests who are joining us as well. We'll tell you more about that on Monday when you join us. Wherever you watch us from, please do go over to our YouTube channel, and that's USA Global TV. You can see it up here, and just click subscribe. We would really appreciate it as we continue to grow. We are now on 16 platforms, so you can watch us or listen to us in any of these places, but I really would would prefer if people would go over to the YouTube channel, because we have playlists there, and you can find all of our shows. Like this one will be in the playlist Pet Psychic Aminah. Thank you again. I'm really just so honored to be here. I hope you have a beautiful weekend. And I hope whatever it is that's holding you back in your life, that you do some soul searching. And if you can't figure it out, ask for some help, because there are plenty of people, especially people on this platform, who want to help you, who would be joyful to help you. And I really appreciate them and you. Thanks again. Take care.